Welcome back to another summer lesson. This lesson, we're going to talk about the Ambassador Bridge, which is the bridge that connects Detroit, Michigan, to Windsor, Ontario. If you've never been, it's pretty cool to go across. So let's go ahead and let's present that lesson. The Ambassador Bridge. There we go. All right. You see a little picture up in the top corner of the top of the Ambassador Bridge. A little bit of history. You can see an old archive photo here of them building the bridge. So it was felt that it was needed, a better way to connect Windsor and Detroit. There was a lot of people going back and forth, a lot of trade and a lot of business. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but there was an underwater rail tunnel. But that was solely a railway, so cars and other vehicles couldn't get across. So they needed a better way to go. And the Detroit Tunnel had not been built yet, although it was soon to come. So during the 1920s, people had talked about, let's get a bridge built. And so finally, a man by the name of Joseph A. Bauer, he was able to secure the money for building the bridge. Now, he was a financier, and it was $23.5 million to build the bridge. So they went ahead and they had a vote because at the time, the mayor, John Smith, did not want the bridge to be privately owned, which it would be privately owned and not owned by the city. So they took it to a vote, and it was decided by the city of Detroit that it would be privately owned. That's how much they wanted this bridge. So, 1927, construction begins on the Ambassador Bridge and is completed in 1929, and it was completed slightly ahead of schedule as well. So here we have a nice aerial view of the Ambassador Bridge right there. Some facts about the bridge. So at the time, the Ambassador Bridge was the largest suspension bridge built in the world. Now, unfortunately, it only held the title for a couple of years because 2 years later, the George Washington Bridge in New York took the record away. But the Ambassador Bridge is still the largest international suspension bridge connecting two countries together. It spans 7,490 feet across, and it rises 152 feet above the Detroit River. So it is estimated that about 10,000 vehicles pass over this bridge every day. Now, if you've ever driven over the Detroit Bridge, the Ambassador Bridge, it is pretty old, and it's kind of tight between the cars and then the semi-trucks that drive over it. It can be a little scary. So there is a new bridge in the works, the Gordie Howe International Bridge, and it's expected to open up by 2024, which I somehow didn't make onto the presentation. But you can see here a picture of what it's going to look like. Spectacular, gorgeous looking bridge. And it's going to be located just south of the Ambassador Bridge. So hopefully this will make an easier ride across, one that's not as tight fitting, and I think they'll be able to get more people across and be a little nicer. If you don't know who Gordie Howe is, he's one of the greatest hockey players to ever play. He played in Detroit. Look him up, Mr. Hockey. That could be a whole nother lesson in itself. Now here's some photos of the bridge. Here, a couple at the top, lit up at night, beautiful. Down here you can see all the traffic that goes across, all these trucks lined up. It's a very, very busy bridge, taking all the people going across to Windsor and all the business, the trade between Windsor and Detroit. And then another aerial shot of the Detroit Bridge. You can see the Detroit River just going right under it. Really nice. All right, so here I have a little virtual tour, a YouTube video going across the bridge. Let's take a little look at this. Ad and skip the ad. A little ride along. It goes both ways. So I did not shoot this video, but I found it on YouTube and thought it'd be kind of a really interesting point of view to go across the bridge. So they started the little journey at McDonald's, get a little snack before they cross the bridge. Scoot ahead a little bit. Getting ready to go up. A little ramp getting onto the bridge. There we go. You can kind of see it's tight. Got cars here and then trucks there. Going up. You can kind of see the landscape as you go over the bridge. There you go. Skip ahead. There we go. Now we're going up over the bridge, getting towards the center of it, and hitting the middle of the Detroit River. There we go. Yeah, and then getting off the bridge. Now, whenever I drive the bridge, I always try to look over the water, but it's not best. It's best to keep your eyes on the road. But it is intriguing to see the landscape and the river. It's really neat. All right. And in the background, I think that's the old train station back there in Detroit. Yeah. And then as the video goes along, they go back over the bridge. So it's a 16-minute video. Take a look. And then down here is just my historical reference for the information I shared, the Detroit Historical website.org. And I just clicked on the Ambassador Bridge. There's some really more, let me repeat that. There's some wonderful information on there about not just the bridge, but a lot of things Detroit. All right, so that is our lesson on the Ambassador Bridge. Soon to come will be a lesson on the Detroit Windsor Tunnel. Really cool piece of engineering built just right after the bridge. It was a really cool lesson to kind of dig up the information for. So that'll be ready soon. There's our lesson. And if you want to, post anything on Facebook about what you liked about the bridge, if you plan on going over the bridge, let us know. Post some stuff on Facebook. Yeah. So you guys take care. Bye.